episode 29, first official new episode of 2022. What's up, everybody?
Yo,
Wait,
what's up?
it's the first one
Yeah,
of 2022.
Yeah.
Wow, awesome.
Technically.
You know,
Wow.
I was looking at the channel as well, and I was like, did DX delete some episodes? I was sure we did some.
Yeah.
And then I
Huh?
thought about it and was
Nope.
like, no, we didn't.
We
There literally
did
was
do
one
a
going-
great
Yeah.
special.
We did only
We
the
did do
special,
a great
basically.
special. Yep. And that's it. That's when we
about
came
it.
together for the first time. But that was, 2021 stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
We had a hint, I remember here and there about 2022 stuff. But now it's we're back into the groove. New
Yeah,
official
basically.
episode.
Uh-huh.
All 5 of us. Yay.
Yay.
Let's hear it. We're
Yay.
awesome. We're awesome. Derek is awesome. DX is awesome. Maria is awesome. Matt is awesome. I can't say
Colin
that
is
about
awesome.
myself. I think that would be awesome. Yes, thank you.
Colin is awesome.
Awesome.
I mean, it's one of those things.
Yeah,
Can I
exactly.
say it about myself? It's like a little bit weird.
Yes, you
but
can.
still, I
Yes, you
I
can.
like
Yeah, you can.
everyone.
Yeah, you can.
So
You are
Makes
so
sense.
awesome, you can do it.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yes. Usain Bolt? I don't know. I don't know. Either way,
Yay.
why Usain Bolt? I don't know. There was a question on a quiz show the other day.
Oh well.
But now we're back, and let's talk about some fun stuff, shall we? Some new stuff. Well, sort new, but a little bit of old stuff in there.
Yeah, kinda.
BNK. What's
Oh.
happening with BNK? Why is there a new gen? I mean, maybe 2 people, maybe they've already talked about it. I don't know, in some other podcast.
Yeah, I know.
don't
Maybe
I
it's
know,
our
man.
podcast.
Oh wow.
Wow.
No, what's going on there?
Yeah.
The accusations.
Hey.
And I must admit, the accusations, they are true.
They are true.
Yeah, true.
Well, why
That
don't
is
you
about
tell us about these
Yeah.
accusations? What are these accusations that you speak of? Please divert. Tell us
Tell us.
what's going on.
Yes, ladies.
Me and Mette are cheating on this podcast by making our own. Yeah.
Ouch! Ouch! Ouch!
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
So-
guys.
Yeah.
Don't be sorry. It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
We decided that, the episodes where we talk about BNK tend to do really well on this show. So we thought, why not make an entire show about BNK48 and CGM48?
Of course, that makes sense.
Makes a
They
lot
are
of sense, yeah.
so Meta the SKE of this podcast. Isn't that amazing? They are officially the SKE team of whatever this is.
Yeah.
Subunit, a subunit, kind
A
of.
subunit. Well, no, I'd say sister team. Literally
team,
sister.
yeah,
Yes,
sister.
even better, even better.
I would say we are more, you are Sakura Gakuin and we are more like baby metal, Sure, we
Ah,
are sorry,
Okay,
but-
oh,
Oof.
After 2 episodes,
back.
you're going a little bit hard there.
But the title of the podcast is called 48 Hour. That is 48 TH hour.
it's very clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody come check it out.
Please do.
Nice.
Please do,
There's a
please do.
link somewhere. We have a plethora of
I
links, but
actually-
we're gonna
I'll-
put it.
I
at
actually
the top.
watched it. Like I had it on the background. I was working the other day, and I'm like, "Huh, there's Meta and Maria. They're like
Yeah.
really crushing it. Like
So,
it's
you know,
pretty good.
Yeah.
It's fun."
If you want to see, us talk about idols without any of the men butting in,
Oh.
Ouch! Not offended.
Ouch.
None of us.
Hashtag sorry.
Yeah, I'm just joking. Just joking. I love you guys. I love you guys.
But talk about BNK.
Yeah.
So there's a new 3rd generation. When was that announced?
They're not new. They've been
okay,
around
yeah.
for like a year.
Ah.
Well, but also like
True.
this quote mark around it is
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of good because it reminds me of Rabbit ears. So
Yes.
Yeah!
Oh god.
Speaking of
That was
Rabbit,
good. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
new.
I clap for that. So 3rd gen got their own MV. First Rabbit, good choice. But there's something funny in a weird way, or weird in a funny way about it. But we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get that.
So they released it, new generation, really cool. In relation to that MV, before we get to the MV, there will be a short film,
Yeah.
to be released sometime soon. There was a trailer released just before we did recording.
Yeah, for once.
And
For once. Normally
Yeah,
it's
for
after.
once.
Normally it's after
Yes.
we done the recording, basically. So.
still will be after.
Yeah.
I mean, knock on that. But there will be a short trailer in coincide with the MV because the
Yeah.
MV itself is about First Rabbit, a classic song. We know it.
Yep.
Girls Look Lovely. And of course, would make more or less sense that there would be a rabbit in the video, or at least, with the ears or whatever, or a rabbit. And there is a rabbit in the video, but not in the way that you would think.
Yeah.
A murderous man in a bunny costume.
You can't see
Okay.
the full rabbit guy in the MV though. You see him in like the promo pictures for the short
Yeah.
film.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
It's not. That's true. It's not the main theme. It's still a music video, but also a short film. But there will also be the separate short film will be released
I would call
soon.
the music video a musical trailer. For the short
Ooh.
film.
Yeah, that works. That works.
Mm.
Fair
that
enough.
Works. That works.
It's a
Yeah.
musical trailer. So it's about the MV itself. We'll get to that short film at one point when it gets released. I'm curious. I want to see what route they take. But Mette, what are your thoughts about the MV for First Rabbit?
Well, I have to admit, like, this is a song that I have a lot of love for.
Yep.
I thought, you're gonna have to do something exceptional to surpass what's been done before. And they went in a completely different direction than
Yep.
I had
Yep.
ever anticipated
I
them
think
doing.
anyone has anticipated about the direction they took. Actually, so yeah.
But actually, Mette was saying beforehand that she hopes they go more cool with it. Then, that
Well, there you
Mette saying
go.
she
Well,
hopes
there
they
you go.
don't go like 100% cute. She was saying it. She did predict it.
Mm.
They do go more or
Sure,
less a
sure.
cute route, but let's hear more of your thoughts.
Yeah.
But so I was really excited. So it has a double center. It's Paya, who's one of the centers for Sayonara Crawl. We'll get to that later. And it's Hoop, Maria's new love in BNK. And I think it's really interesting to go with this more intense, going for a more unity theme in it. And it's mostly the dancing section, which I'm happy with. I love those costumes that they have for First Rabbit.
Yeah.
The long white ones with the red in it, the red details. And I think I would have liked to see a little bit more of the short film that's hidden inside of the MV.
Mhm.
But I'm getting the
Mhm.
full short film now, so I can't really complain about it. But it's a good song, it's a catchy one. They have really good members for it, and one of my favorite third gens is in it, so I have to be happy. Popper is in it.
It's law. It's law.
Yes,
Yes.
of course. And I think they did a really interesting take on a song that's almost always viewed as this super cute, super idol-y song. And it's still idly, but it's given a new meaning. And it matches, if you look at the lyrics, I think both the Thai lyrics and the original, you'll see that this actually matches better than what AKB's original MV did, which was just them in a
Ooh.
room with like the Salvador Dali clocks,
Yeah, true.
dancing in
Yeah.
white costumes. It does, just look
Weird.
at it.
Yeah.
I will fight for this.
Yeah. And, on this similar topic, if you're done, Mette, I will take over because I have a lot to say.
Yes. Let's hear about Hoop.
Let's hear it.
I could wax poetics about this for a long time. And I do agree with Mette. I do like this. Well, I don't know if Mette likes it more, but I like this music video a lot more than the AKB48 one. The AKB one is pretty, They look very dainty. They look very pretty. But I would go as far to say the AKB one is pretty goddamn boring.
Ooh.
A lot of it is just a member sitting around with a pretty white dress, looking beautiful, which I can
Can't say no to that.
appreciate.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
appreciate. But also with BNK, we get pretty girls fighting and being cool.
Yeah,
So, and we also get the pretty white dresses. So
It's a win-win.
I would, it's a win-win. And the costumes are so pretty. Like the details, especially, are what make the dress, because the bottom of it is like the height is different. It's like pointed at some points, and while they're dancing, it looks so beautiful. It bounces around really, and it just looks really, really good with the choreography. And the costume also has additional details that just really make the dress complete. Especially, I like the belts They are like really simple, thin red belts. There is nothing special about the belt, but it just balances the costume out so
true.
well.
Mhm.
The costume wouldn't be nowhere near as well and beautiful without the belt. And so
It's
I
detail, you know?
The details.
yeah, I really,
understand
really
that.
like it. And like Mette said, with that music video, I found myself a BNK Yoshi, Hoop, one of the centers, who did an absolutely wonderful job in the acting parts. Like, there is the part where they are going to attack the intruder, who we now know is a rabbit.
Yeah.
And the expression she has on her face, like, I'm excited to see her in the short film because I think that girl has some talent for acting.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah,
Mm.
I just like it a lot. Yeah, but I do agree with Mette. I wish we had seen a bit more, especially of like maybe the fighting part, because basically most we saw was them preparing
Yeah.
and dancing, and then the beginning of the attack. And I wish we had maybe gotten to see them hit the rabbit over the head.
Like the first set or
Like,
something. Like
Yeah.
a-
Yeah,
yeah.
like the trailer for the short movie is out now, and there you can see Hoop just whacking the rabbit
Yeah, true.
with
Mhm.
like
Saw that,
a
it was funny.
plank.
Yep.
And I wish that had been in the music video. Although,
Yeah.
Yeah,
We get the short film for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Who
So
knows?
maybe they're just saving it for the short film, basically. So.
so yeah, can't complain too much, but simple
Exactly.
wishes.
True.
So DX. Well, the costumes. Yeah, you get credit for that because I
Yeah.
do. Once you said it, I was like, yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Well, one thing that stood out particularly for the costumes for me was like it's the white and red. The design was really similar, and I had to dig around a bit, but it actually is quite similar to the first costumes ever for NGT48 as well. The
I'm gonna have to protest here.
Uh-oh.
It's just the color palette. It's just the white and the red.
Visually, it
The
has
dress-
similarities.
Yeah.
The dress shape is different. It's really different, the dress shape. It is. The skirts
Sure.
are nowhere near similar, and I am going to just say I have worn dresses before, I have worn skirts before.
No.
The
Surprising.
skirts are very different. Those dresses only have the color palette similar. That's it.
Yeah, sure, but I do agree with that, and I also agree with Rondi. Yeah, no, you mentioned it. Yeah, it does visually remind you of that, and it makes sense that
Sure.
he would think of that. It's like, hey, wait, I've seen this. It makes me remember something else.
Yeah, basically.
Good.
But as for the MV, I always knew First Rabbit, the AKB version, as a bit of more cutesy style. So when I saw the whole Killer Rabbit thing, I was like, whoa, what's going on? And
What?
then the teaser released just before the show. I commented, and the one thing I always said, the one thing that came up to me was like, I'll never look at First Rabbit the same way ever again.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
As for the MV, well, I kind of was hoping we got like Maria already said, a bit more action, not just the preparing, but I figured they were saving that for the short film. But all in all, I would say I really like the MV. So yeah.
Oh, a lot of that actually. I really like the costumes. Very cute, simple. Love the design. The Killer Rabbit stuff is an interesting angle. Makes it just a little bit different. I'm like, I'm curious. Okay, make it fun. We have seen it so much that I'm like, okay, let's see what you bring in with it. Could
Exactly.
be fun.
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm interested in it anyway. The girls look really cute. One girl reminded me of ex Team 8 member Nakano Ikumi.
Yeah.
And I still.
She did,
Yep,
yeah.
She did,
Okay,
yeah.
good. I'm not weird. I
fine.
need to figure out who that is. But I'm
Let
gonna
me picture
take
it
a look.
later. I'll find it out for
Later.
you.
I bet you I know
Later.
exactly who you're talking about, Colin. I was thinking that
And
that girl looks like a teammate girl.
No, that's great. I'm not alone in that regard. I swear to you, if you put those two together, they could be sisters. I was like, Ikumin, and I've not really thought about Ikumin in a particular time. I think it was a Team 8 performance some time ago, maybe last year, where it's like, oh hey, there's Ikumin again.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't. So to think of that as like, oh, hey, that's interesting. That must mean something. But yeah, it's cute. I really like it. I'm interested in the short film. I'm not expecting to be absolutely fantastic, but hey, it could be fun. It's a different angle to take enough for me to be looking forward to it. I'm interested.
Yeah,
Who knows
same.
what they will do?
Mhm.
It's something else. That's appreciated once in a while. I agree with that. So good job, Third Jan. Hoop. Hoop. There are some funny names.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
Hoop is
Go.
fun.
Yes.
I'm going.
Yes.
I know that name. I know her name now. It's a simple name. It's an easy name. I find it funny.
That's good. We need
Hey.
everyone to know the gen names because they are the ones who will inherit BNK.
AKB, wait,
Why
what?
not?
I'm sorry,
Yes,
I've been
yes.
thinking about, we've been talking about that single announcement that didn't happen, and it's been
Yeah.
stuck in my head. I want an AKB single. Oh.
Oh god. So that's some good news for that. Derek, what are your thoughts about First Rabbit?
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Before
Oh no.
before I even get into it, I have to ask the two that I know are gonna maybe say the most about what I'm about to say. Mette and Maria, what can I ask both of you what your interpretation of BNK's approach to the lyrics are? In other words, how do you think it fit better? I mean, as opposed to AKB's version. Although, to be honest, AKB's version I don't think fit either. But I mean, I'm just curious what you guys both think. How did what we saw translate to you guys? Either of you can go first. I don't care. Just curious.
Should I try first?
Yeah, I think you should go
Dozo.
first.
Scary. I think that this MV for First Rabbit fits better because, as opposed to the other one we've seen, it was just, sitting, dancing. But this is about a group of girls coming together in a time that we can see from the MV. This is not based on the trailer, where it's a dystopian, something bad has happened. They are the only ones together, and they are consistently being. You can see that they're scared. They're working together to survive, and then facing outward threat. The people are being injured, and about being that, it says in the song that one of us, I want to be the first rabbit of the herd to
Yeah.
move forward or something like that.
Also, this is a very rough translation of the
Oh.
Thai lyrics,
Okay.
which just the first verses. One day, among the lime trees in a mysterious forest, accidentally came across a hole that stretched somewhere. Their comrades stood side by side, staring into the loneliness. And just by looking at the darkness, I couldn't move my body any further. Heart, why is it beating so violently? It's okay. I'll run before anybody else.
And you see that with especially Hoop and Paella being the centers of this, but with Hoop being the one, for example, the moment that Maria fell for Hoop, when she hears the alarm going off in the background because what we now know is the big rabbit has come inside and everyone's hiding, and Hoop is the one to come in with Paella and try to help everyone else be the brave one running forward.
Yeah, and from the lyrics, I really get the vibes that it is being scared, but still running forward to the future. But being a rabbit, aka being scared, but being the first among the rabbits, still charging forward. And I really got that vibe from the music video. They were scared, but they were fighting.
So when they're like beating up the big rabbit, what is that rabbit? I'm sorry?
Oh, the rabbit doesn't show up, like he isn't being beaten in the MV.
Yeah, you don't see the rabbit even once.
Who is the person, the antagonist that they're fighting or got them all bloody?
Well, it's the guy you've seen. The picture was posted now today of what he actually looks like. But it's this really huge guy who you just see like his feet and his outline.
What do you think what is he symbolically supposed to represent?
It could be.
I think
so
in
many
this case
things.
I think in this case, Derek, you are thinking a bit too much into it because.
I'm just asking a question. I mean, if you don't want to answer, don't answer.
I
It's
get
cool.
you, but I think in this case it symbolically resembles nothing. I think the fact that it is a rabbit is just for the short film, which might now be also why they didn't show it in the music video. Because it didn't fall
Possible.
in line with what they wanted to show in the music video.
But you could
All right.
choose to read into it as the rabbit being because this is our new girls of BNK48. They are the ones who had really nothing to go on for a while. They've been in the theater, and they're now moving forward, running forward towards this big unknown, potentially scary fate. You know, it's been a difficult couple of years. They've not had the same experience as the first gen did, as the second gen did. So if you want to read into it, you can see that the big rabbit they're fighting is a stand-in for being scared of the future, being scared of meeting fans actually face to face, or just actually going out and now taking a step forward into being the center of BNK.
All right, gotcha. All right, thanks. I appreciate you guys' opinions on it. And again, I realize both of you are very sensitive about BNK, so I'm going to try to be as kind as possible here. I thought it was probably the total opposite of what I was hoping they would do in my heart, like what I wanted. Here's the thing. The costumes were great. Love the costumes, have to agree. I think universally we're all in agreement. No, the hats I thought were terrible. I thought those two hats were hitting it a little too much on the nose. Like it was a little too okay. That was the only part about the costumes I did not like, were the two centers hats. But that's it. Everything else worked.
I agree.
White,
Yeah.
the white and the red. It was smart. It was beautiful. Red, you think blood. They do reference blood in the original lyrics. I didn't have time to check the Japanese as opposed to the English and see if there's translation problems with what's online, because Japanese is so nuanced. So what might have been translated in English might be totally off. So I didn't check, but based off what I read. And also, too, I love First Rabbit. I have a lot of good memories to that, particularly when I saw Team 8 do First Rabbit at the Tokyo Idol Festival. I remember telling you guys the story, or I don't know if you two were here, but, all the fans, dancing around like rabbits. And I've never seen hundreds of kids do that all at once, and it was all in perfect synchronicity, and it was just one of the most amazing things I ever saw. And there's Team 8, and it's like, oh my god, and then there's all these fans. It was just, I don't know, it was one of the better memories I've had going to see one of the AKB groups live, But BNK, again, never can do any wrong. They really can't. They're always sincere. So I give them all the love and credit for being sincere in what they do. But I think in this case, I'm only reading into it because it's kind of like when you're a star student and you're operating at A level all the time. You expect A level all the time. Then it's almost automatic in your brain. I think you can pay a much finer attention to a group like BNK, who like literally have they ever freaking misstepped? Yeah. And so it's just
so many times.
Well, okay, well that's of course
logistical
matter of opinion. I'm just saying, in my eyes, they've done pretty darn good. Okay, we can agree. Yeah. We can at least agree to that. But I don't think I think this is one of their biggest missteps I've ever seen them do. Just because I think the MV is totally taking, I think, the overall concept and theme of what that song is about and going a different direction with it. That, yeah, I guess you could say it's a creative and maybe a much different approach than anyone might have expected. But I also just think maybe the director's heads, like, they weren't reading into it either. They were thinking, let's put the girls in a fighting situation, cover them in blood, have them fight a big bad guy, and everybody will love it. And I don't know if they really thought past that. If they did, that's cool. But I think, like, when you actually read the lyrics, this is about a personal journey. This is about a personal. Hold on, Maria. I mean, because if it's all right, I'd like to actually
that's why
give
I
my
raised
point.
the hand and didn't interrupt.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. So I think the whole concept of the song, and let me just put it to you this way too. AKB got it wrong as well. I think their video is even 30 times going in the wrong direction. Salvador Dali, come on. It's just, as somebody who loves art and studied art, that was the worst reference you could possibly have made for this song. I think this song is about a personal identity, trying to reach it, not sure if they could. It's about growing up. Like most of the AKB songs in that time period when First Rabbit came out is about adolescence. It's about adolescence turning into an adult and trying to figure out that journey and that process. you could symbolize it as a fight with something, sure. Fight with yourself, even, sure. I'm not saying that's bad. I just feel like, to me, if it was me as a director and I had these lyrics, number one, I wouldn't have any idea what to do initially. It would take me a long time to figure it out, because the lyrics, if the English is correctly reflecting the Japanese nuance, they're so abstract. So really, you could pull anything you want out of it. But the big thing I'm coming away from it is, like, I feel this, if I was a director, if I was doing something, I would have wanted to focus on, well, I guess in this case, the double centers, and I would have had them showing more of like a personal journey, a personal struggle, maybe something more modern, more in today's world, like whereas an adolescent girl who's trying to grow up, you can identify with this, as opposed this dystopia, whatever it was,
Yeah.
fighting somebody that, covered in blood, which I don't know if a lot of,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, as a girl, maybe I'm not a girl, but I don't know if I could have related, I guess, is what I'm saying.
No,
So
I
that's my day. Maria, I'm really not done. Can you please wait? Please. I'm begging you. Like, because you keep doing this and you're like making me feel like I gotta rush, and you talk for like 20 minutes on this. So it's just, if I could just have my
Yeah.
time, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So the thing is, it's like, I really feel like they did an incredibly bad job with this, as far as the direction of it. This whole fighting thing, I really rubbed me the wrong way. I feel this song is so precious and so deeply important to the AKB world, the AKB mythos. It is the only time I think I can ever honestly say I felt BNK did not do what I had hoped they did. But that's okay. Even
Yeah.
straight A students sometimes, I think, get it wrong. And again, strictly my opinion. Everyone's welcome to have their own and debate it and say I'm wrong. It's fine. I don't care. I'm just saying, when I watched it, I just kept shaking my head and be like, nope, this is not it. Although, again, outfits were good, girls looked great, singing was on point, the Thai language translating in this worked beautifully. They got all the structural things correct, but I just think the theme of it, if it was me and you have these amazing BNK girls, I would have focused more on the personal, the deeply personal. I would have showed a story in modern times. But again, that would have been me after 8 months of trying to figure out what to do with the lyrics. So I can't also blame them for going that route. It's an easy route to go. Let's just throw the girls in blood and have them fight, and yay! It's the same. It's probably the same thought process AKB's directors had when they're like, Salvador Dali's pretty cool, and we could talk about the passage of time and put the girls in white wedding dresses. Yay! And there was no more thought. But back then, you had these superstar girls. You didn't really have to do much with them. I mean, if I'm being really honest, put them in anything and it would have been fine, because back then they were so on fire. They could not do wrong no matter what they did. Versus this, well, we've had how many years? We've had how much time? You almost feel like there could be more done, especially from BNK, our superstars, like who really have not done anything wrong. So that's my point. Again, feel free to say I'm wrong or debate it. I'm totally cool with it. I just felt that it didn't do it for me, if that makes sense.
I am
Oh,
only
Did
going
you
to say
this?
this one more thing, because this has already gone long. We shouldn't drag this out even that much longer. But I think I can see why you would have that opinion. But I think you make the mistake of thinking that just because you don't like it, it's a bad decision, because the fans love it. I wasn't a fan of the third generation before. I am a fan now. And I would say thus, it was a good decision, because people like the music video. And okay, you don't like it, but I think you are making the mistake of saying it's a bad you have the right to not like it. I agree with that. But you're extrapolating that opinion onto it being bad, despite the vast majority of people liking it.
I mean-
well, I would say that everyone has a way of seeing things in their own perspective, and saying bad is always, very subjective. But just because other people like it or love it doesn't mean that other people don't. Popularity is no a means of quality. It never is.
Yeah, I totally agree with Colin. I mean, slavery was really popular in America until Civil War was fought. over it, and a vast majority of people in America love the idea of owning slaves. But does that make it right? No. So I'm just
Also,
saying, and maybe
Derek,
that's a terrible
did
example,
you
but I'm saying.
really just right now compare the BNK48 First Rabbit music video to fucking slavery?
Well, no, I'm sorry. Maybe that was, I'm just trying to think of a way to point out the fact that in history there have been a great majority of times where people have vastly agreed on something and have been completely wrong. Does that mean I'm right and other people are wrong? No, of course not. Like I said, and I'll say it again for your ears. It's my opinion. So I don't think I'm also wrong for saying what I think about it. And I didn't say at all that I think other people are wrong if they like it. If a ton of people like it, great. I'm happy. BNK should, I want them to succeed. I'm just saying it didn't do it for me. And I think I think it was just a big mistake. I don't know. I mean, it's, if other people don't agree, great. That's great. I mean, again, that's the beauty of our world we live in, right? We're all entitled to our opinion. But I also think you're kind of being incorrect by saying I'm somehow wrong for thinking that. I don't think I am, and I'm not saying you're wrong if you think it's great. Great. I didn't have any problem with your opinion on it at all. Like
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it at nobody is wrong and everyone has their own stance to take. Just to give one
Let's move.
example, and then I'm gonna go to the next topic. For instance, for myself, I never care about lyrics, the meaning behind them, or the idea behind them. And that's just the way that I take it. And I know that that's something, there are many people that don't. They value the lyrics and whatever, and that's perfectly fine. Everyone has their own stance to take. Just throwing that in there to give a comparison. Also, that it's not really black or white. There's a lot of gray in there too. If be fair, people like, I will say this, as much as I don't share that opinion of Derek, I do understand very well where he's coming from. I understand where Maria is coming from. For everyone's better sake, let's go to the next topic. I think that's better for everyone in that case. New show, AKB48. So there was that other show. I forgot the title. I should have written down the title. With that host. Wait, I do have that host name.
Hiroyuki,
Yeah, Hiroyuki.
isn't it?
Hiroyuki. Yes,
Mhm.
thank you. Where they did that whole show was weird, but basically. There's a new show. Yeah, we've talked about that show for a long time. I mean, let's get to the next one. He returns with a show I think is a fun idea with the AKB members where they want to focus on underrated songs and then bring new MVs to them. There have been 4 episodes, pretty sure, and the 5th one is actually for today.
Yeah.
So I have not been to that one, but the show is better than the other one with him. I don't like the guy all that much. I don't think he's bad, but the fact that he's not there with them
Yeah, still
is
in
just
Paris, right?
Yeah.
weird. It's weird. There's also one thing I don't like about Nemosu, but that's Nemosu. But that makes a little bit more sense. I don't know. I will give him some slack that it's not just something he only does. I've seen it before with Nemosu, but I'm also not just a fan of the guy. I think I wouldn't say he's likable, but hey, I think the concept of the show is really fun. The MVs, well, let's talk about them. DX, an MV, pick one, and what do you think about it? Or maybe if you have an overall opinion, please share that too.
I'm going for the Hajimari no Yuki song because
Okay,
of all the
yeah.
song covered. I like that one the best because it felt like a traditional idol song, and the MV they went with it was snow based, as it makes a lot of sense.
Winter Team.
Yeah, winter team basically. So overall, I quite liked it with the whole snowboarding or exercising around in the snow in a bit, and the song itself it felt a bit more up tempo, and it's if I compare it to the other song, it's the fastest of the lot up till now. And
Yeah, I agree.
for me, I like that one the best. And I'm not sure what song they're going to do for today's episode, but we'll find out later. But
Underrated.
yeah, true.
That's it's AKB. They've only been around for 2 years, so it can't be anything too weird.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
Yeah, true. No, but I like that song the best, Hajimari no Yuki. So
Hey, well, let's focus on that MV first. I think otherwise it gets too over the place. Mette, do you have any thoughts about this MV in particular? Doing a dance?
Like it was cute. I liked having the members having fun together, playing in the snow, seeing. I think it was like Eddie and Nathan doing like a snow heart together.
Yeah.
It was
It
just
took me a second to see. Oh, it's a heart, but
Yeah.
that's fine.
well, yeah.
It's
I
odd
think
to make, but yeah.
it's a nice song. It's a song you don't really hear that often anymore, and
Yeah.
Oh,
it was worth having it on with an MV, especially with background they used it at the snow resort.
yeah. Ski resort, I think.
Yeah.
Something along the lines of that.
It was
Yeah.
nice. It was cute. I don't think it was particularly memorable, but I enjoyed watching it.
Actually, funny enough, that I would say that that's my exact opinion as well. Just straightforward, winter-themed MV for an underrated MV song. I mean, it's fine, perfectly fine. It's simple, but it works for what it is.
Yeah.
But not too memorable.
Mhm.
Maria, anything about Snow?
Honestly, I have the same opinion for all the music videos, which is they are cute. Cute to watch one, maybe even 2 times, but probably won't watch it again anytime soon. And
fair.
I think that with the music videos, they are all very clearly like self-made music videos, to put it like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
And I hope that over the course of the show they try to step out of that, and because self-made music is always really fun, but I hope they also do some where they try to make like a serious music video instead of like a self-made one, if that makes sense.
Makes more sense.
Yeah.
I agree.
Maybe it's a
I
series finale or something.
maybe. Who knows? We can be hopeful.
Yeah.
Why not? Maybe not. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't happen. But hey, it's nice. But you said something really good. But I'll get to that later. Derek, did you watch it? Have you any thoughts about
Wait,
winter?
The new show, this AKB48 new show, what is it about?
The members who will appear in the eventual MV just show that they make the MV, talk with the host, show
Tourism.
the places, tourism, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of, it's not the most interesting, kind of like a travel show, which is
Cool.
kind of what I wanted to bring up because Maria, that's a very good point.
Very
But that's kind of it.
Oh, yeah, no, I watched them. So I really liked High School Days actually. I thought the thing is like, I mean, most of these like, well, musically, I mean, well, High School Days musically was like the closest I've heard to like an old school AKB song in a long time. It had all like a lot of the qualities of old generation AKB, so I immediately liked it. It had a really good idol structure as far as songwriting goes. It was, I don't know, it was a return to form. I don't really think you can ever quite go wrong when you go old school, because there's a reason why we like old school.
Yeah,
It's
true.
because it reminds us of stuff. Video wise, I actually liked the whole personal thing. I thought it was very beautiful. I thought it was very teenagerish. I thought it was very young, youthful. It felt very sincere, and even though it was maybe lesser quality, there's this idol group that I did their American tour. I was very close to them. They're called Oyasumi Hologram, and Oyasumi Hologram, or Oyahalo for short. They put out a bunch of these type of videos like when they were just starting back in 2014, 2015, and like I've actually been watching them recently in the background when I'm doing work, and so it was kind of an interesting coincidence. I was watching these videos, and that's immediately what I thought of was like, again, return to old school, return to form of like, these guys have the budget. I mean, sure, they could put out, what we're used to seeing with AKB, which is like these, crystal clear A+ quality MVs that are just like ridiculously shot. But what was nice was that for once I didn't care about the quality. Like I was just like, oh, this is just a sincere girl's version of what her day is like or what's going on, and or we're with our friends, and it was just cool. Like, I don't know, I got a good vibe from it. Am I in love with it? No. Will I ever listen to it again? Probably not. But I just liked it. It was
And
simple.
I would also like
That's
to add here
pleasant.
that that music video, High School Days, is also the closest out of the four that it comes to like a serious music video
Yeah.
instead
Yeah,
of
yeah.
a self-made music
True,
video.
true.
Like, you know, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of quality to it.
Yeah, that was
It
the
wasn't
point,
bad.
actually. I wrote down for my notes, this feels like a vlog more than a music video.
Mhm.
Yeah.
High School Days, I would also say that High School Days would be my favorite, also in part because I like Mahopyeon the most out of these girls. That's just preference. The school setting makes sense. It's called High School Days. It's like,
yeah.
okay, I mean, why not? If you name a song, I don't know, Zoo, and you said it in a zoo, makes sense. It's lame, a very bad example, but it makes sense. But with the exception of that one, the rest felt more like a vlog, and like not really much of a music video. This one did. It was cute. Would be my favorite too, but more by process of elimination. It's like I'm watching a vlog more than a music video,
Oh,
which
right,
makes
right.
kind of sense with what they're doing in the show. I think it's what I said earlier. I think the idea is neat to produce a simple MV. It doesn't have to be big. Just an effective MV for an underrated song. Give it a new, or not all songs have had an MV in the past. I'm thinking of theater songs. It's an interesting idea. Like it's fine. Is it the most interesting show? No. Are these MVs particularly interesting? No, but sometimes Derek said it well. It made me think of that sometimes you just want something nice, something pleasant. For what it is, they work. It's a weird vlog type quality to it. That bad. It depends on what you're looking for. If I want to watch the vlog, then I watch the vlog instead.
Yeah. True.
As an MV, it gives a strange vibe, but some people will probably not be bothered by it. I wasn't too bothered by it, but I did notice it.
Yeah.
Anything else about all these MVs?
Oh, I would like to ask everybody, is there a song you hope they do a music video
yeah.
for?
It's a good question.
That's a
Very
good
good
question,
question. For the people at home too, I can't really think of one. Well, one comes into my mind. Hachi no Dance. Team 8
No.
theater song from I can't really remember when, but I would say do that. Maybe Black Jaguar, that was recent, was my favorite song last year. That would be my answer. To see just what they would do with it.
For me,
Anyone?
For me, it would probably be Kagabi John Dark, or
Ooh, okay, yeah.
there was another one. I lost the name. But
You get there later. In 5
Yeah.
minutes, you remember it
yeah,
again.
exactly. But I had two I actually wanted to see. One was Kagabi Jean d'Arc, and the other one it slipped my mind basically. But I'm especially interested in the Kagabi Jean d'Arc version.
Okay. Anyone?
Takitsukoka, the 16 gen song.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Good one.
I
Oh,
love her in 16 gen MV.
of course.
Yeah.
I agree.
Are we talking about older songs that get remade?
That too.
Like
Any type of song you want.
Any song you want.
because I don't know. I thought it'd be cool to see like Green Flash kind of get a redemption.
Oh god, no, there's a song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know
In that
how it
case,
would
I want
be.
a new
Yeah,
bingo
they have
MV.
to learn how to rap though with Green Flash.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
No, I remember the song. I also want to see a video for because I only see the anime version of it, and that was Pioneer, Team A Pioneer.
Oh, that would
Okay.
be good. I like that. That
Okay.
actually might be
I
mine
have a
too.
good one.
Inspiration.
I've been talking to Maria about this one particular song forever because I am so. Kibonitsuita deserves an actual MV with humans. It's such a good AKB song, and it's just been left behind in 2012. And I need it back with an actual good MV. Put a Senbatsu in it, and just do Kibonitsuita.
Oh
Because
yeah.
that
By this
song is
point,
just.
I am convinced Mette would pay to get them to perform that
Here's
song.
more money. Here's money. Make it. Come on. You have nothing else to do.
Here's
Come on.
some yen. Here's some yen. Go for it. Here's some yen.
Yeah. But, I'm gonna add something that it would be really fun to see them do a Japanese music video for one of the international sister group songs. That would be fun too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is an idea.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Which one?
They could do Molly.
Molly,
Miley.
yeah,
It's-
Molly,
That's
yeah.
the best. That's the best of them. It's the best of them. Do
Yeah.
Miley, please.
They actually for AKB Saikin Kiita, why don't they just do Rhapsody, Mali, Dia, do the original songs and make their own versions of it? They don't even have to redo like the singing part if they don't want to do. They can just
Mhm.
do the choreo and do the dancing and stuff.
And have the original song played over what they do, kind of
Yeah,
that.
if they don't
Yeah.
want to translate it.
Yeah, that's
I see
that's
that.
an interesting idea.
Yeah.
I hope.
Interesting.
I kind of get the feeling with this show. There's not a huge budget, so it's maybe that's why the vlog aesthetic is there. Maybe it's just a theory.
Still doing
But
that.
that with the original songs, that would be a fun idea for like more of a genuine B-sides. I'm waving my finger like, oh, no, sorry, not the intention. But I would say maybe with on a B-side as a B track with more of a budget would be a little bit more interesting with the original songs. But I do
Yeah,
like that idea somewhere.
It would be a
down the
really
road.
cute thing for an AKB, Japanese AKB sister group or AKB themselves to pick up one of the international songs and release it themselves. Kind of like, you're releasing our songs, or at least one of your songs, sisterly
why not?
stuff.
Yeah,
It would be really
that's
fun.
sharing, like clothes, for instance, between siblings. That's the thing. That would
Yeah.
be. I do like that idea. I think that's an interesting idea that they should do at one point. Again, maybe not with this show because I would be like,
Yeah.
do it more official. More official. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, I
But that's
agree.
me. Because otherwise it's maybe a bit disappointing. But who knows? Sometimes simple would be very effective too. Kind of like high school days. Like I more or less all the MVs. Where it's like just simple approach would be effective, but then would become the argument: would you remember it really? Would it get? It doesn't have to get mainstream attention, but a bit more memorable in that sense. But I do really like the idea. I do really like the idea.
Definitely.
So maybe something cool happens more so from this show. Who knows? I don't know. I will be hopeful. I keep an eye out for it, but I'm not holding out any hope because I don't know. It feels like they wouldn't get to that, but who knows? It's an interesting idea. From the MVs, we go to an upcoming sort of MV. STU has I don't know. Gimmick is maybe a bit negative in that sense, but there will be a new song for them. And they will have triple centers. Ooh.
Yep.
Which is has there been an AK or the 48 group a single before with 3 centers? We've had
Four
double
centers.
center. That's kind of
We had 4 centers with Sayonara Crawl, I think.
Yep. Sayonara Crawl was 4, which we'll get to, which will become a new thing in the future. But like a triple center, it's interesting. Who had more information about that? They want to rotate. Like that was the idea.
I think that's what I've seen like on Twitter when people have been talking about it, that the idea might be that they're gonna do like rotating centers for performances. So for example, one day if there's on a TV performance, one of them's the center and then maybe the next day if they're somewhere else.
It
New
could be
center.
similar, to what HKT did with what was the Tanaka Miku and who was the other center? I can't remember her name.
Nothing.
Yeah, maybe. But HKT did that. And, I would be interested to see that. Because I feel like if it really was 3 centers in one song, it would end up looking like a single center with 2 other members who get limelight,
Yeah, that's true.
Kind of how like Sayonara Crawl ended up looking like a double center with 2 more members who got highlight time.
Yeah.
So, but it's an interesting idea. Like one morning on one show they'll have that other group, and then later in the afternoon, I don't know, in another show that's too far for them to travel. Like exposure for more members. I mean, I gotta be totally honest, with the exception of Takino Yumiko, I have no idea STU names. I think they're a strong group. I think that in the past, but not quite for me. Strong members, I would say, more prominently. But like this is an interesting idea. I mean, gonna watch the MV eventually too, and it's an interesting idea. We'll see more exposure for the members. Hey, why not? It's for me, they're definitely the group that I know about based on members the least. So who knows? You'll never know if there's someone there in that lineup that will pop out.
Yeah, true.
I did I have a thought about Triple Center.
Oh.
Keakisaka's last song, Dare ga sono kane wo narasu no ka? That song officially had no center, but fans more or less agreed that it was a triple center because it was 3 members who got about the same amount of attention. So that made me think that maybe a triple center that is actually done in a way that does seem like a triple center is possible.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We'll
Maybe.
see.
We'll get to see. Maybe, I don't think in this particular version, but maybe at one point
Yeah.
they will do the ones that did the most centers out of all. So I would think that they maybe divide it more amongst themselves, but who knows?
Yeah.
I could see that. Could be interesting.
Yeah.
Derek, any particular thoughts about STU and this idea?
I
Derek.
think, I mean, filling Not on shoes is difficult, isn't it? So, you know, I feel they need all the help they can get. But that being said, STU's always been pretty solid. So, you know, if they want to try triple center, okay. I mean, if it works for them, I'm down. I think the only thing is, though, again, it's just what is the point there? Is it to say, oh, hey, we're doing something new, we're trying a triple center, and that's the only reason for it, or does it actually commit and give something to what the song or what they're trying to do for the song, with having 3 prominent vocalists with the background of non-vocalists.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean, like chorus
Yeah.
providers. So in that regard, it's interesting. You know,
Yeah.
but again, you got to do what you got to do to fill Nachon shoes. So
Yeah.
I'm all for it if that works for them.
It
Also
takes
a good point.
3 girls to fill in 1 notch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean-
possibly a whole
It's a
team.
math equation.
Probably a whole team is needed, but yeah.
You know, I did have a thought though. Since Nachon left though, I mean, have you guys noticed her hair is like dyed blue? Do you think that's like
I don't know.
I kept thinking that. I'm like, because her hair looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
it is trending a lot here, and I'm seeing tons of girls, even older women here, with like dyed
Okay.
blue hair, purple hair. It's like, wow, that used to be a punk thing. Now it's just a fashion thing. But like, it's cool. I mean, I'm not complaining. They look great, but it's just. I wonder if that's a tribute in this case. Not
Yeah.
on saying, you know, I miss
Sense.
my old girls.
Yeah, but I get what you mean with STU. It's like, is it triple center for a reason, or is it them throwing 3 things at the wall to see what sticks? You know.
Yeah.
Like-
Exactly.
I'm not sure.
Maybe
And
they
then
kinda
some
need it.
Ryu Villain sticking and Chiho.
Probably. So, if that's all, then, you know, we'll see what will come out of it.
Yeah.
Maybe they will do nothing with it, but the song itself will be something we're all going to be
Yeah,
positive
depends.
about. Who knows?
Depends on the style of the song, I would say, because
That is also true. So, let's see what it will be. April, I think,
yeah,
will
somewhere
be
in April, I
a
think.
while. So 2 months, but then it kind of makes sense. We'll see how that goes. Speaking of things that go and multiple tempers,
Oh.
that was bad. So BNK stuff. We did talk a little bit amongst ourselves in regards to the whole, what is it, crypto voting and how
yeah,
Maria
blockchain.
correctly pointed out. But if they do that, then we'll already know who won beforehand because you can track it. Yada yada. It only made me think, okay, they really had no idea what they're doing with this. Hey, cool thing, let's do it. So I know I'm keeping that as a side note in that regard.
Okay.
They did announce for the 11th single, which that's the voting single, right?
Yeah.
I would love to tell you if I actually know that 100% for sure. But I don't, because they haven't really information about this Sousenkyo and how voting is actually gonna work, and if you're gonna get tokens if you buy a CD or a music card. I am not 100% sure, but let's go with the idea that Sayonara Call is the voting single, like normal.
That would
Right.
make more
Okay.
sense based on the timeline. They did
Yeah.
share a timeline. Voting starts on the 10th of March and will last till April 7th. Good month, okay. And then the Sousenkyo itself, 9th of April. So that's just a little after that. So there's a timeline. Yay! Hey, we have
There's
something.
It's something.
Yeah.
Something
We
we can work
complained
with, so
about
yeah.
that the last time.
Yeah.
So hey, and maybe, hopefully, possibly, let's say 90% sure that their Sayonara Crawl will be the voting single. In tradition, with Sayonara Crawl, four centers.
Yeah, 4 centers.
And the fun thing is, I think it's a fun gimmick. But hey, I sometimes I mean gimmick in a bad way, sometimes in a positive. I mean this in a positive. We have a center for first gen, which is
Yep.
music,
Yeah.
and second
Of
gen,
course.
font.
Yep.
Know that name. The third gen, which is, if I'm wrong, say it. Paya, who was the center
Paya.
for First Rabbit, and
Yeah.
then fourth gen. No, there's not fourth gen. Shampoo from CGM
yet.
first gen. Oh, smart. Well, smart. You know, it works. You know, you do it like that. Okay, makes sense. So only 32 members. So that's
Oh,
I
no.
don't know about that, but that tends to be the case. So why
Yeah.
not? Okay.
Yeah.
Interested for myself.
Yeah.
I want to see how they do this with the quadruple centers. Maybe they do something fun with it. I have no idea. I want to, but let's see what they will bring for that.
Yeah.
The backgrounds for the announcement video looked cool, but I don't think that they will follow that.
Yeah.
It's a
So
separate thing, I think. Yeah.
yeah, probably separate.
Yeah.
What are preview thoughts on Sayonara Crawl, and in regards, not crypto, about the Sousenkyo? Because I've already said kind of mine.
Yeah. So I have a conspiracy theory that
Uh-oh.
is not even just tinfoil hat, but is more like aliens abducted me type of conspiracy theory about
Oh,
CGM48 Shampoo. I say she is a long lost sister of Ice One's Cheon. Because
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I can't help but look at her and see similarities. They don't look the same, but
What?
they do look like sisters.
Okay, yeah. I'm
So
kind of
I
vibing
say-
with that
I-
remark.
So
What?
I say Shampoo is Icheon's long lost sister or maybe cousin. But I know this is, like I said, this is aliens abducted me level of tinfoil hat.
That happens a lot in Estonia. It's a thing. It's very normal. It's kind of like
Yeah.
brain
Yeah.
for the Netherlands and Britain for that matter. It's like
Yeah.
just normal.
Yeah, it's like brain rot. It happens.
It
But
happens.
yeah, it happens. But talking about it like seriously, well,
For this one time.
I say if we have to have 4 centers, I like the way they have done it. I am not generally a big fan of it there being that many, but if there has to be 4, those are the picks I would go with. Essentially. Well, I would replace Baya
Okay.
too, but I can't
Yeah.
complain too
Personal
much.
opinion.
Yeah,
Fair
that's
enough,
my
fair enough.
personal opinion. That is by far not objective. I am very biased. So,
No.
Not at all. Not
Bad.
at all.
So, Baya is also great, and she's really cute, and I'm really happy for her. And yeah, I like the choices for center. But on a brief note about the blockchain, the tokens,
Okay, brief. Okay, sure.
I don't want to get worked up for the second time this time, but
Blockchain.
how is it gonna work if it's blockchain? You can always see.
You can always see
the
what's
Yeah.
going
results.
on. Yeah.
And does
We don't
that
wanna
mean we
know.
will know the Sousenkyo results before the end? And if they somehow hide the results, then it isn't blockchain.
Blockchain, That goes
So-
against the principles of blockchain, basically. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
as an IT person, I have so many conflicting thoughts at the moment. So, yeah, not sure how it's going to work, to be quite honest. So,
I
Yeah.
stand by it that, again, it's a theory, but I would not be surprised because this kind of thing happens often. They just see, hey, this is a popular thing, let's do the popular thing, without really looking into it, which in their defense, when it comes to the blockchain and even kind of NFTs, we're not going there, those stupid apes.
let's not go there. Let's not
People
go there.
just don't really look much into it. They think, oh, it's popular, let's do the popular thing. Which I
Which,
can kind of understand, but
Yeah,
it's
like
this
Colin
is not a
said,
good idea.
it's the one saving grace that they did not do NFT.
Yep. No.
Yeah.
Imagine they have the profile photos. Why not do the posters for the Sousenkyo? They've always
Stop, you're
been
giving them
very
ideas. Stop.
Yeah.
Don't do
yeah.
this.
No,
We
that,
don't
I'm not
need
saying that they should do it
NFTs involved.
NFTs like that.
Yeah.
But like, just stick to the posters. Those are so much more fun. And it's better that way. Just forget about those tokens, those shitty tokens. Who cares? Only the crypto bros, they kind of care. I would not be surprised if we get like comments from the crypto bros because for some reason they notice it. I mean, that's something very good AI there. But silly. I stand by it. I think they just had no idea and just like, let's do the cool thing, let's do the popular thing because it's gathering traction everywhere. I see ads for it so many times. I think I even saw. Well, I did saw one commercial here that kind of joked at it, where they kind of said, don't listen to those cowboys. It was a bank commercial. So hey, that's good for us. Hey, pat on the back. Hey, at least someone is saying something smart. But let's see what they do with the Sousenkyo, and if more things will be revealed. I look forward to the song. I look forward to the posters. It's been a while since there was with Sousenkyo, and I like the Sousenkyo. Bad things can be said about Sousenkyo. Absolutely, we've talked about it so many times. It's as we're saying, hey, December. Ever heard of it? It's a month. It's I look forward to it either way. I hope it's more in person, like last time, where it was a Zoom call.
Yeah.
I hope it will be in person again.
Yeah.
That will be a major plus.
Yeah. Although the BNK election has already been a mess. Like,
yeah, that is true.
No,
That's
true.
valid.
From the get-go, yeah. From the get-go, yeah.
It's been a mess.
Maybe the live show will be kind of, well, as awesome, if not slightly less awesome, as the first one, where it was really cool. So maybe, not to, don't want to be an entire negative Nancy about the situation.
Yeah.
I do hope. I just want something fun, something concrete that can be talked about. Is anyone more thoughts about BNK and their 11th single?
Because this is just me personally being super happy about someone joining the Senbatsu again. Because, it was a big Senbatsu, and someone who hasn't been Senbatsu since Quiz to the Fortune Cookie, I think, or maybe even Aitakata.
Oh, wow.
That's long.
Yeah.
That's a while, yeah. What the?
Very long.
Miyori is back in the Senbatsu. She's like backline, but I don't care. Miyori is back in the Senbatsu. And please keep her in the Senbatsu from now on. I need more Miyori. She deserves so much.
I absolutely agree, but it's, new gen, new people, they have a sister group, so of course it will get a little bit crowded, so some girls will just lose their spot. But I do definitely agree with Miyori. I'm very happy for her. Yeah. It's kind of like nature.
Mette was so excited about Miyori too. Mette was so excited about her.
Of course,
makes sense. Like the reaction video when they're announcing everyone who's in the Senbatsu, they filmed it during the New Year's MV filming, and they did Miyori, I think, like last, and Janice was crying. I had tears in my eyes, and other members were just hugging and hugging her, and just it was so good to see everyone be genuinely excited for someone who works really hard to get back in the Senbatsu. So let's, if you like her, vote for her in the election. I'm campaigning already since Chaprang isn't in it.
Oh yeah, that's true. We maybe next time we'll talk about, kind of if the posters come out. I kind of hope they will do posters. We can talk about, the specific members who's in it or
designs, I think. They're doing designs for posters now and doing photo shoots, and they're doing lessons for Sayonara Crawl as well. Because I think maybe Sita has mentioned that she's been to lessons, I think maybe this week, or was it last week? So they're started doing lessons.
Kind of.
Yeah.
No, it's something we can look forward to. I hope that by the next time, whenever that is, we don't know by this point, we have something more concrete to talk about in that regard. As much as there's a huge negative stain with this thing, posters can be fun. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
and election appeal videos.
Of course, yeah.
Very much true. Mon will have a video and a poster.
Namyang will have a video. Mr. P will have a video. The cats will have a video.
Why I'm still mad about it. I wish they had let the cats join the Sousenkyo.
Yes, I agree. That's the worst thing about this whole thing. They should have.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
if they have done that, everything would be fine. It would be like, okay, yeah, that's a bad thing, but get the cats in.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Well-
cats would at least have hit Senbatsu. You know that.
Yeah.
I
Of course.
mean,
Yeah, of course.
Hero for
Mm.
center.
at least
Kami 7, if not like 3 to 10, you know.
3 to
Maybe
10.
just 2,
Yeah.
just members. They should have done
Wouldn't
that.
it be really funny if it like came down to one of the cats and a member? Like,
God.
That would have been.
they have the close up of the cat. The cat's just like licking its paw.
And, like,
the other girl's like,
"What am I
"Oh my
doing here?"
god," you know.
Oh man.
But you
If-
know,
if
that would
ever-
also. They
No,
could
go
also
ahead.
do it like really cute, which is, you know, whichever is the highest ranking member still sits in the throne, but the highest ranking cat can sit
Has his own
on that
throne.
He
member's
has his own
lap.
phone, yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be
I
great.
love
That'd be good.
Yeah.
It'd be super
if they
cute.
would do this, if anything would go viral, kind of like a few years ago with Junkin tournament,
Yeah.
where everyone was talking about the most serious game of rock paper scissors in the world.
Yeah.
Imagine this going viral. Thailand's popular contests down to a girl and a cat. I know this is very quite a bad dialogue. I'm not a journalist.
But you know what's interesting
Imagine-
about that, Colin? Like, what if that actually did help them? Like,
That
that is
would
kind of
help.
crazy.
Why not?
You know what I
well,
mean?
Yeah. True.
It is attention.
I-
It is
It all
to them.
comes down to everybody loves cats. Everybody loves
Right,
cats.
exactly.
Yeah.
Don't
Hmm.
come to my house with that statement. Don't-
Oh.
Oh.
or anyone in my family for that matter.
Uh-oh.
Come to think of it.
Oh god.
No.
Oh.
Blasphemy. Utter blasphemy.
Blasphemy. But yeah, no, it would give them attention.
Yeah.
Positive
Mm.
still in a weird kooky way where people would be like, "What?" It made me think there was. This went not viral, but there was something I heard about. I forgot in which American state it was. Where it was America? An eating contest between a giant rabbit. I don't know my rabbits. A big rabbit. I don't know. We call it giant. And a woman. And an eating contest. All you can eat. The rabbit
God.
did not want to eat, nor the second one that was there. It was a backup rabbit.
What
This
the-
was announced. I forgot where it was. I need to Google it.
I
Uh,
thought
eating
actually,
contest.
I saw the video. Actually, they were eating salad, and that
Yeah,
rabbit
salad,
was
yep.
just like, yeah, I don't care. Meanwhile,
not
this girl is like, she's stuffing her face, and it's
Yep.
like you can probably slow down if you look at your opponent. The rabbit's just hanging out. Like you can eat couple leaves and you win, so you don't got to kill yourself there, girl. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't think that went particularly viral. I just happened to hear about that. But imagine if this would
But-
draw attention.
I mean, if you remember one of the last times AKB went viral in the world, what was it for? Cockroach being,
Yeah, the
you know,
cockroach sumo, yeah.
you know. I mean, this is a little bit step up, you know, more the cuter direction,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the oh my god, what the heck are
Yep.
they doing direction. You
Yep,
know,
yep. More fun, positive. Be like, in what popular contest there's a cat? Like,
Yeah, true.
why? If they get more information about it, they're like, so it's basically a popularity contest where people vote, but there also are cats. But it's
You
about
know,
a
that
girl
would
group.
Be a really good quiz question, like what popular Thai popularity like
Yes.
who
Yeah.
won the popularity contest in the popular Thai idol group, you know?
Oh
Like,
man.
That would
yeah.
be on Jeopardy. Every other quiz on the world where they have this kind of question, I could totally see it. But people would be like,
yeah.
oh, I don't know. And some people would like, I think it went viral or something. I kind of remember
Yeah.
something.
yeah,
it was
and
weird.
then there would be
Hi.
us five. No, it's the cat. You know, we would be freaking out.
Yeah.
We're
we
calling
know.
their hotline.
Yeah.
Yes, I was absolutely aware of the cat video.
I watched it. I watched
wanna-
it live. Come on.
I'm gonna quiz you, and no, I'm gonna correct you in what it actually was. And the other person is like, yeah, that's fine.
It's like, yeah, so,
Yep.
you know, Mette just comes in with the, actually, it was a cat, and the cat's name was Hiro, and, you know.
Oh, this.
And
this
this-
That sounds just like her too.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a good impression. Actually, it was a cat. No, sorry, Ben, that's not you. You're much cooler sounding than that.
No, but Colin, we actually had to explain the Senbatsu. Remember IFFR in Rotterdam, and
Yes.
we actually had to
we had to
explain.
explain that.
Yeah. Oh god, it was
Yeah.
something.
Was
Because-
weird.
Like, generally, I love the cat idols so much. Like, I was just talking to Mette today about how they aren't just cute and for fans, but I also think it's good for the CGM members and for their mental health. I can imagine it does a lot.
Yeah, I agree. You have those kind of places. I forgot what it's called, but you have that, and that's true. It's true. No, I agree.
Animals
That
are
would
known
help.
to help
Being
with
a
mental
cute cat.
health, and if they're having a bad day, they can go sit with the cat, you know,
Yeah.
get one on their lap, pet it a bit,
Cat
have
cafe,
another
yeah.
rub against them, and be like, you know, just de-stress.
It's effective. It works.
Yeah.
So why not? Let's do it. BNK, you should have added the cats. Grave mistake.
Yeah.
You
You're
know,
cancelled because
you
of
know,
it. No.
we should do a campaign, Cats for Idols.
Cats
Mm.
for
All
idols.
Yeah, all idols deserve cats.
Or dogs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or dogs. Yeah. Pets for
Or
idols, maybe.
maybe one of the members has a fur allergy. You would, of course, there would be one girl that's like,
Then they can pick a
Eh.
chinchilla.
oh yes, better. See,
Chinchilla.
I wanted to say I am, but it's not I am. Iris, we do it. I'm very expensive, but I'm still willing to negotiate. Let's do this. Why not? We have a great idea. We would know do the blockchain, so we are more competent between the five of us.
Yeah.
So something fun to look forward to. Speaking of something that's not fun, but very early New Year kind of thing. Graduations, everyone's favorite pastime.
Oh.
It's the start of the new year, calendar year, and girls graduate. There were a bunch. We're going to list the ones that more did something personal, where it's like, oh, I'm very unfortunate that this member graduated. Some more prominent than others. DX, there was a rather pretty prominent member that announced graduation, wasn't there?
And a
Yeah.
very pretty member.
Yep, also true.
Yeah. No, for me, the one from the recent graduates that hit the hardest, I would say, was Tashima Meru, because
Okay, yeah, also true. I agree with that. Very unfortunate to hear. One of barely a handful of HKT members that I followed and really liked, so that's really unfortunate.
yeah, she
I
was.
agree with that.
Yeah, back then when she debuted for HKT, she was considered the ace along with Tomonaga Mio, and I have a feeling the signs were there when Mio was graduated from HKT. Everyone was thinking, yeah, it's only her clock is ticking right now before she graduates, and yeah, it happened basically. And we saw her. As a podcast, I think the time she debuted was around the time we also started with 48 Talk back then, and we basically followed her whole trajectory with the podcast. So
Yeah. I had the pleasure of meeting her at one of the handshakes events that I went to when HKT was there, and there's just something about her. She's got a sharp look in her eye. She's always been like that. That's one of the things I remember most about her, was that she was really billed as like one of the most intelligent members of the whole system, and you could tell. Even when I met her face to face, she's got that look. Like a curiosity, a natural curiosity about the world, about who she's interacting with. She would have made a really good major leader if she could have risen above her peers, but it wasn't meant to be, because look who she was with. I mean, all superstars, you know. It's
yeah,
not
exactly.
easy in AKB, of course, but she was good. She's the one I think that hurts the most out of all the grad announcements for me that have been announced recently, because I just like, oh man, really? But then Meru, what she debuted, she's 13, I
Yeah,
think,
something
14.
like that. Yeah, something like that.
So
Either way,
maybe
yeah.
it was just time, you know.
Yeah, makes sense. Anyone else on Tashima Meru? Because we were talking about her anyway. No thoughts? No thoughts. There was one. Sorry?
It's sad.
It's sad.
Graduating, like big members like that leaving, any member leaving, it's sad.
Yeah.
Yep. I always say that too.
But
It's bad. Yeah.
for me, for some reason, I would almost say it's sadder when, like, I would say the pillars of the group who aren't, like, you know, the top members, but, you know, the reasonably popular members leave. It's sadder than when, like, the real tippity top leave, in a way.
The strong
Because-
support, back row kind of thing. Yeah.
Because the tippity top, they are, you know, they are high and mighty above. If they go, it's like, oh, it was time, almost.
Mhm.
With like the pillar members, it's more like, well, what are we gonna do now? Like,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
who will fill in that spot? Like, we can always say, like, well, somehow we will have to, get a new center. Like, it's a hard thing to do, but we can somehow see that progression. But with like a pillar like that, you're like, well, how do we fill this gap now?
How do we go on from there? Because a new ace can be not always easy, but like this kind of B support, you need when you do a move, you need a supporting cast too, but not all
Yeah.
the time. But it is appreciated. Oh, internet went out.
Oh.
You had a hiccup.
Yeah, happens.
Yeah.
Bad hiccups. It's sad. I agree. It's not. I wouldn't
Yeah,
quite
but-
say Tashimaru is like A tier.
Yeah.
Hey, he's back.
Hey.
It was a bad hiccup. It
Yes.
happens.
It
Yeah.
just
Good.
happens, so no worries.
But it's
I
still
also think-
unfortunate. Yeah.
It's because aces can be to an extent made by the management.
Yeah. True. I agree.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's a management will push an ace. Of course, some will naturally develop, but still they need that
Mhm.
management push. A
Yeah,
pillar of a
true.
group,
Yeah.
that's all on them. Management
Mhm.
can't do anything about that.
Agreed. They just happen naturally.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I feel, at least. It's like they just either take it upon themselves, or whenever you have a group of people, let's just say 5 for simplicity's sake, there will always be, okay, who can you depend on, who kind of leads the herd in that regard. Not quite ace center thing,
Yeah.
but like,
Not even the team captain necessarily, just reliable members.
yeah, a
Mm.
reliable support who you can depend on, who's not the most popular, but regardless of that, you would still go to them
Yeah.
in particular cases because they are the best person for the job, and that's
You can expect them
Maru,
to
for
show
instance.
up and do the job well.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
dependable. Yeah, dependable. Oh, don't know why I was thinking more. Just dependable. So that's true. For other members, there was one that was kind of noticeable for NMB, a newly appointed center, Umeyama Kokona.
Yeah.
And NMB not quite known anymore with them, but I do recognize this name, and it's like, okay, that's unfortunate, especially when it's a recent center. AKB had it a little bit here and there, that too, where it's like, oh, but you did that.
Yeah.
But okay, it
It's a
happens.
curse.
For instance,
It's a curse.
it's a curse.
Yeah.
It's a curse.
I see in the tweet that was made that she had trouble with balancing her work and studies. So the 26 single for NMB, I think that's the one coming up, right?
Yeah.
Will
the
be her
upcoming,
last one. So that's unfortunate. That happens. That it kind of coincides a little bit with someone else. For me, that kind of hit me. But anyone a particular thought about Kokona?
Well,
Anyone?
I don't have a particular thought about her, but to kind of continue what you were saying earlier, what we were kind of saying about the pillars kind of hurting. Yeah, like I think one of the things that has made AKB48 as a system so fascinating is that there are hundreds of actors in it, characters, people that you can latch on to, and so when one of those, maybe not necessarily the most popular one, leaves, you got to remember that girl probably has thousands of fans here in Japan that followed her. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I went to the handshake sessions for AKB at Makahari Messe, and there's some girl in the corner just freaking famous as all heck, and I'm like, who is she? And she's not like the famous girl, but she's like maybe a Kenkyusei or something. And
No, you talk.
go ahead.
No, I wanted to say is I think it's also because the like mid-tier members are much more likely to have a lot more loyal fan base than the tippity top members. I feel like the tippity
Yeah.
top will have a lot more casual fans. Of course, they
Yeah,
will also have
up and
a
down
more,
kinda.
the hardcore fans. But
Yeah.
like proportionally, like the middle tier members have like percentage-wise, they
More
have a higher
consistent.
percentage of loyal
Yeah.
fans.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does BNK have that? Do they got like a mid tier level fan base? Or I'm sorry, mid tier level members that like you might feel have this sort of situation?
Oh, I mentioned one earlier. Miori. Miori is someone
Miori.
who has never been super popular, but she has loyal fans who show up. Like she does daily live streams on their version of Showroom,
Oh, right.
and she has a loyal base that comes back. Miori is one of the great pillars of BNK, especially the theater. She is the theater goddess of
Yeah.
BNK.
Okay.
Okay.
You have a lot of these members who are in, not everyone can be Chapran, can be Orn, can be
Right.
Namda.
Okay.
Right.
And I think the big ones have a lot of casual fans, but when you go lower down to the members who aren't that popular, the fan base is so incredibly loyal. Just look at CGM fans. Those people are some of the most loyal, both to the group and to their member I have ever seen.
Well, look. I mean, even look at like Izarina. Like this was a at best mid-tier level member of AKB,
Yeah.
and look what she's done. I mean,
Yeah.
it's interesting, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
just it's
definitely.
really
Agreed.
fascinating to me.
I would almost compare it to it's like the top members are like, big bright fires, they almost cast a shadow and have this big presence. But I would say the mid-tier members, they are more like, this nice, warm, like fire you can sit next to, be warm next to, be cozy next to. While, the big ones are more like
Agree.
you're in awe of it.
Yeah, true.
And
Yeah.
they're magnificent.
It's like a large
right.
spectacle, and then mid-tier is more like a comfortable. I want to say house fire, but that sounds a bit weird. Like a
Yeah, that's
fireplace,
not the best example
house
to use.
level fire. Very casual
Yeah.
kind of affair.
Yeah.
That's a good example for that. I agree. Yeah.
Can I bring
That's
in one
interesting.
graduation that happened today? Or was it yesterday? I think it was today.
I think it was the
Because-
actual graduation today. Yeah, I think. Just
Yeah, Renachi graduated today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
that's
Yeah.
right.
It
Yeah.
was today.
Do you know who showed up at Renachi's
Yes.
graduation?
Yes. Rina.
Someone I haven't seen in forever, but Fresh Lemon showed up.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
Miori.
Yep. That was
I
that was
just-
fun.
When we were talking about like mid-tier members who have like loyal fan bases, Fresh Lemon.
Yes.
That girl.
Yes.
Lemon.
Oh,
Good example.
Huge.
I
amazing.
agree.
And
I'm almost sad I missed. I'm so sad I missed it because I really wanted to see her and see if she actually did Fresh Lemon. It's been so
I don't know.
long.
Because it was today, it's like I can't really watch it live, but I want to because I do like Renachi. Very
Yeah.
unfortunate that she graduated. She would also be one of those mid-tier members, maybe kind of leaning in A. Where it's like, it's just unfortunate that she
she's
left, but
a border case, I would say. She's a border case between a star and the mid tier. I would say she's right at that border. Just,
1.5.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Kind of. But yeah, I agree. I no, and I need to see that too. I kind of wanted to know if she did that. I only know she was there with Natsuki, another Natsuki.
Kojima Natsuki?
What's it? I think it was. So many names,
Yeah.
Sorry. But there was someone else too. Someone that would have been more of a C member, kind of like low. Not unpopular, maybe kind of being aware of it, but never really stood out. I don't think that he in particular ever ranked, but that's another topic. But that was, that Fresh Lemon happened. Fresh Lemon happened. Sort of,
Yeah,
Miori.
it did.
She came back, so that was neat.
With graduations though, especially in AKB, this also makes me think like, of course, nobody wants a graduation.
No.
But I also think since AKB is getting a new generation and already has a bit too many members, it's like me as a fan, I don't like graduations. Me as objectively thinking, I would say it's a good thing for the group itself, if that makes sense.
Indeed, a lot of members, and then the question arises: who do you remember? Do you remember their names, their faces? It is busy in that sense.
Yeah.
There are people that would never remember all the names. Do I know all the names with AKB? I would say vast majority, but some members I'm like, I don't know your name, but I kind of remember your face, and then there are ones I have no idea who you are.
Yeah. It's like,
just
as a
nature.
fan, I really am nobody ever graduate. Everybody please stay.
Yes.
Nobody ever leave.
But then it becomes too big.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
objectively, but objectively, especially since the new generation.
It's the circle of life. Let's put it at that.
Well, I think in the idol business, and this has been true from my experience working in it as long as I have, that you're only as good as what you output. So, you can get a group with hundreds of girls, and that's actually okay. There's no issue there. The problem is, what are they outputting? What are they doing? Like, if they're just there, well, of course you can fully expect graduations. Or if you get a girl whose output was, in her mind, I'm gonna be ace, the number one, and she falls vastly short, she'll graduate because AKB wasn't for her or whatever. So the good girls, the ones that really stay and do well, are the ones that find their niche and go after it. Like, they figure out, okay, this is what I'm known for, this is what I'm good for, this is what people expect. I mean, if you even get a little bit of something to stick, then you fully follow it up, and then you have a chance to do more. If you're not one of the chosen blessed ones that just come right out of the gate like a goddess and like everybody loves, which is that is the fate of some of those girls as output. But you look at something like Fresh Lemon, her whole thing was the whole lemon thing. She took that so far. And then on top of that, she's also really funny, like accidentally funny. Like she does a lot of her whole, she was meant to be that mid-tier level member. She was never going to be top ever, but it's not because she couldn't be. Don't get me wrong. Don't mistake what I'm saying. It's not because she couldn't be. It's because she was surrounded by all these other people whose output was much greater. That's all. That's literally it. If you took all those people out of her way, she would have been in the top. But that you could say that about a good 80 to 90 of the members. Like, it's just other people in the way or standing in line waiting to be noticed. It's just, that's the issue,
With AKB at the moment, even with the top members, they aren't doing much like in the group sense. Like, yes, the top members, they have a lot of solo activities, they have a lot of magazines, they have a lot of brand deals, etc., etc. But even the top members, aren't doing that many like group activities, I would say.
Particular.
It's like sure, there's the theater, sure.
Stuff.
Yeah, it's like stage stuff, but there isn't, there isn't any variety stuff. They aren't, there isn't nearly as much group activities than there used to be, in that sense. So
Most but
if like even the top members are doing less, than they used to. So, the mid-tier and the bottom members, what are they doing in the group sense aside from theater performances? Which,
I totally agree.
Important.
Totally agree. I think, obviously the big thing we all know, the pandemic put an end to a lot of group stuff here in that regard. It put the emphasis more on single versus group. But I also think too, them taking away the Sousenkyo was one of the biggest, most dumbest mistakes they could ever possibly made as a whole system, taking away the Junkin tournament's fun and just reformatting it to a point it wasn't even interesting anymore. Taking away these like staples that made us root and follow these members, plus it organized the members towards those things too. And then of course the variety shows, cutting all, I mean, at one point, there were so many shows. You take away all that, and then also you took away the AKB Cafe, which was a place where the girls had shows, and it was just they just stripped away all this iconic group stuff. So then, of course, the girls are going to go more on the solo route,
I agree with that, actually. But I do think the reason they stopped the Sousenkyo is because they are afraid of the results. Simple as that.
Yeah.
They are afraid that that is definitely going to show how much their popularity has dropped. Because it will be so easy to put, first place got this many votes this time, and that's how many first place got last time.
It's hard to discuss these numbers.
Yeah. And they are scared that gap won't be, 10,000. That it won't be, something little. They are scared it will be a lot. And then that will be newspaper articles, just putting the numbers next to each other.
And they always kind of did that. That's fair.
Only this time, the gap will actually be big and significant.
Yeah,
it certainly has a lot to do with it. I wouldn't disagree with that. I bet you that's definitely one of the big factors. I mean, there's a lot of factors, but that's certainly one of them. But also too, Yeah, you just don't really have the star power anymore. Like the
Also true.
major star power. I mean, again, AKB was very, very lucky at the beginning to have a good 20 to 30 girls that they weren't human. They were not human. They were so unbelievably amazing and interesting and beloved. I mean, AKB was beloved in so many ways. And I mean, you can go much farther than 20 or 30 members and say that as well. But it's like the Sousenkyo had so many characters to root for.
Yeah.
And I mean, who could ever forget, like Ogi beating out everybody, even the
Yeah.
priests. I mean, stuff like that happened. I mean, who? It was just
Yeah.
like you just had so many storylines that were you could have wrote a better book if you tried. It was like
Yeah.
Game of Thrones idol version, and it's just like that all went away. You don't got any
And-
kingdoms and queens and stuff anymore. It's a lot of mid-tier members and a couple still remaining old school players, but nobody has the chance to express themselves and advance into a god tier status because there's nothing for them to do it with. No Sousenkyo, no Junkin, no TV shows. It's really not much, Not even touring. They don't play big shows anymore.
I honestly
So.
can't wait to see the numbers for how many people applied for the AKB48 new generation
new gen,
audition.
yeah.
Also a good one,
curious,
yeah.
That will be a good comparison because with Nogizaka, how many was it?
Oh,
Oh, I
lot.
can't remember.
Don't
A
know.
lot.
A lot.
Wasn't it like 80,000 or something?
I think it was even like 90,000. It was a lot. It was a lot.
Oh, that's a lot. That's indeed
Yeah,
a
wow.
lot.
Quite a bit.
And because that is also another thing, which is, if 90k people are going to Nogi, that means that is 90k girls Nogi has to pick from to get that new Shirai Shimai, to get that Achan, to get that Techi, to get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wonder how big of the pool of people it is for AKB.
Let's
That's
just
a very
hope-
fair
yeah.
question.
Let's just hope they
I-
publish the numbers, because if it were significantly low, I can imagine them keeping them a secret, to be quite honest. And that's
Yeah.
another sign, I would say. So yeah.
I would be inclined to agree with that. Like I would even say I doubt that they would get like 20k. Maybe
But
my estimate at peak would be
Yeah.
3,000, but I'm being very generous.
you never know. Maybe the
True.
new Shirai Shimai, the new Achan, the new Techi, the new Sakura is just, a big AKB fan. Could always happen.
Yep, I agree. I agree
And
with
that's
that.
why
Yeah.
that's why she goes to the AKB audition and not the Nogizaka one,
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed. It's
There-
where you
there-
want to go.
Yeah, there's so many girls in the Chica idol world that they had such big dreams of being an idol because of AKB. So they end up, for whatever reason, in the Chica world, and not necessarily as a downgrade. Maybe that's just where they ended up. But there's kind of the same thing here too. Not getting into it much detail or anything, but I've been seeing kind of the same thing right now in Chica, where you got a lot of groups that are really they're leaving, that have been around forever. They're just done, like huge groups in this world. And now we have a lot of mid players that are trying to step up. But the thing about Chica, it's cutthroat. It's vicious. It's like everybody's doing whatever they can to get there. And there are a couple rising stars I'm seeing in my world that's like I can see being pretty freaking huge, and maybe even crossing over to mainstream, because couple girls I work with, they have superstar written all over them.
And
So
it's
interesting.
also always possible that not every girl will be the instant success. There can always be an Achan who is slowly but surely proves herself, and suddenly everybody goes, I do like her a lot.
Yeah,
Like,
that could happen
Yeah,
too.
also
That might be
yeah.
happening right now.
Yeah,
Who knows?
It's like she's been here for a few years now, and I never really thought about it, but she's great. She's at center, and that can happen because I legit don't know anybody who doesn't like Nachan and Yuri. Like they are just that
Well-
likable.
Well, adding on that, Maria, and this is for Colin, DX. Oh, you too, Maria, and Mette. Is there anybody hitting you right now in your brain for what we're saying? Like, that could be that rising star that you guys are kind of feeling is in any of these groups? I mean, at all? Because maybe we do have kind of a secret amongst us. I mean, I know for me, it's of course it's Tani. She's been working real hard. So one day.
It is, this question came up before, once in the few episodes. I can't remember exactly what my pick was, but if keeping it short from
What is
on
it
my
now?
end, I would say Mahopyeon, who we talked about in the high school
Oh,
days.
I
If
could see
there's
that,
one
yeah.
where I'm like, I can see her going places, I do think with her. If there's one other member, maybe as well as Asai Nanami, who I think just hasn't
Oh.
broken
interesting.
through yet.
Yeah.
But there are a handful
That's
of members
interesting.
who I could see, but I think the last time I said it to, maybe not on that level of previous members, but still on a sufficient high, popular enough level that could break through in that regard. But
Wait, Colin, hold on. Asai? Why are you saying that? That's interesting to me. What's
Asai?
Nanami, you were saying?
I think just that she has it. If I were to compare her to Zuki, I don't think Zuki has it. She just doesn't strike me as interesting. Never has. That was one of my only two gripes with Shitsuru and Arigato, where she just does not really stand out. Whereas with Asai, has more character, has more of a character, personality.
Yeah.
But that's preference. Zuki stands there for a reason, but that would
I
just be an
gotcha.
example for me.
Yeah.
Curious about that. What about you,
What's the second
DX?
that came to mind? So, but yeah, DX.
If I were to take a guess, even though she kind of is popular-ish, well, not as the level as she is in the past, but I have a feeling about Chiba Eri actually, because even though she is
Oh, Chiba.
yeah, but that might be in connection with her days in producer date back then.
Yeah.
So
With Eri, I
Confirm.
feel like it's more like the opposite, that everybody has very high expectations for her, and she's failing to meet them. That's what it feels like more to me. People are expecting a lot, and she's not reaching quite there.
Yeah.
But for me, I would say there is this one SKE girl who can speak English, and she does English live streams like quite regularly.
She just announced a graduation. Igarashi Hayaka.
yeah, you
Was
guys
that
like
her?
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah,
Literally 4 hours
there
ago.
she
I
goes.
think.
that's what I told you
Yeah,
earlier today.
There you
literally
go.
4 hours ago.
I forgot. You know, I tend to just ignore the things I don't like. Okay.
Makes sense.
I ignore the things I don't like. Well, there goes
Good
my
strategy.
horse. There goes my horse.
There goes her choice, basically.
Oops.
I just have
I forgot to.
I just have my Sakurasaka girls to lean on now. Kira
There
is
you
great.
go.
Yeah, she
And
literally
I
announced
really
graduation
think-
4 hours ago. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think if Kira actually got into the Senbatsu, she would shine. There's only one reason she isn't in the main Senbatsu, and that is because she sucks at dancing.
Yeah, kind of.
No, but you know what's good about that, Maria? That's a charm point that she can improve on and get the whole.
True.
She works so hard. She
Right?
works so hard. It's Sakurasaka members have literally talked about how it's like things have happened. She practices a lot, and how oftentimes, like just in hallways, there will be impromptu dance lessons because they will see Kira practicing, and she is so earnest about it. They just want to go and help.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But that's also like a good idol story. Like the fans can get behind it. Remember, the fans don't want a perfect girl. They want an imperfect girl that they can help make perfect. And so right there, you might be very right. You might be onto something.
So much heart. Like she was so close to Mori Akanen, who graduated just after the last single, and you know, when she was graduating, Kira is, you know, she isn't the youngest, but she is, you know, the one with the youngest soul, so to say.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and you know, she was trying so hard not to cry because she said, yes, this is sad, but this isn't about me, and you know, Akanen, she has to go, and I want to focus on how happy we had it together. And just, you know, she's so childish, but sometimes, you know, that's something that, you know, how much she cares shines through. I love her, if you can't tell. I love her.
No, that was. I did not notice at all. Now we mention it. No, it doesn't make any sense. Sorry.
Because, like, at the Bags Live, she performed this one song and Omotayori, and it really was. She isn't that great at singing. She isn't that great at dancing. And oh god, she sucks at rap. And that song has a rap part, solo part for her. And this when she sentences it, but it was. She smiled so brightly, and you could see how much fun she was having, and how hard she tried. And I love her, by the way.
Yeah.
Totally didn't
Beautiful.
know this. Totally didn't
Yeah.
know this.
I know.
So-
Mette, what do you like? Yeah. Who's your pick?
Taguchi Monaka.
I would agree.
Really?
Not
Yeah.
as understand me right. Not as the ace center like a future Atsan person, but Taguchi Monaka as the Takahashi Minami kind of successor type
Okay,
within the
so-
group.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
I can also see that. Yeah.
She is someone who is reliable, hardworking. She's funny.
Mm-hmm.
She always tries to include everyone. She's not afraid of being honest with being it the teachers or with her members.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think, especially now that she's been made the captain of Team K, it solidifies to me that she's one we should look out for as someone with the Sokantoku future
Yeah.
potentially in
Yeah.
the group.
Agreed.
I mean,
Definitely.
Nice.
also, we've all avoided mentioning Hee-chan because her success is a bit different, But also,
Yeah.
I can see Hee-chan only going up. I would say she has only gained popularity in Japan since Ice One ended.
Yeah.
Hitan's freaking amazing
Yeah.
at this point. My
Yeah.
god.
Like
Superstar.
It's like every other day I see, she's in another magazine.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
she's
That's what
on
I
another
mean.
show.
Like, I think
Right.
she's made it at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
It's about time for a solo center for her, to be quite honest. But yeah.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like beforehand, I can understand why she can't have the center right away. There would be a lot of AKB fans going, well, we don't want her. She only, she came over from Korea, blah, blah, blah. But now she has proven it's not just the Korean popularity.
No.
She has
Yeah.
the Japanese fandom.
Mhm.
I mean, she's ridiculous. Like, she's utterly ridiculous. Like, give her and each of her six-pack abs a microphone and she could have her own group.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously.
Like just a few days ago, she was on this like dance competition show as a guest judge, which go her.
She's been on variety shows that's not idol related. It's just
Yeah.
Hee-chan's
Yeah.
doing great.
Yeah, no, she's amazing.
her.
And now
Very
Maria
cool.
has her in her on her shelf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Island shell. If was there an example that Derek gave for someone, or am I? Oh no.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Tani
Yeah, of course.
Marka.
Tani.
The only example that mattered. The only one.
Just wanted to be sure. I wasn't sure, but that's
Thank you.
no one
know,
else. Who cares?
Derek, I have a suspicion. I'm not the only biased one here. Somehow.
I don't
That
think
makes
you
no
are.
sense.
Oh, man.
That makes no sense. I can't see it.
Very
Very weird way to say it.
Kinda, yeah.
Listen,
No.
Tani has the ability to. Yeah, she's just great. Never mind. I'm
Yeah,
going to.
simple.
She's
Don't
just
need more.
amazing.
You
Yeah,
just
don't
love
need
her,
more.
You're an idiot.
I'm biased completely.
Yeah, it's like, it's like I said with Kiita, it's like you can explain all the things that are great about her, but in the end, it just comes down to I love her. She's great.
I
Yeah.
really do love Tani. She is
Yeah.
beautiful, amazing, funny, stupid, weird, crazy, everything you want in a person. Just she's unreal. Yeah, biased. Anyways,
And
go
there
ahead.
you go. You don't need it. Continuing quickly, because I feel there's a good member in there to exemplify what we just talked about in terms of graduating. Nishikawa Rei kind of hurt me because I'm like, I think she's very cute, sweet, also
Yeah.
had a certain dependability. Huh? That's a silly one. And she wants to be a nutritionist.
Nutrition.
Nutritionist.
I
So
saw people joking that beforehand, like at one point, like members were leaving AKB to become actors. Now it's like everybody's leaving AKB to become a goddamn medical worker.
yeah,
Like,
that happened recently too.
Yeah.
Really? Are you serious? Yeah.
Why
That's
not?
weird. I mean, well, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Why am I saying that's weird? That's life. You're right. You're absolutely
Let's
right.
go.
Huh.
Yeah.
So that was unfortunate for me, but it's a good way for Nishikawa Ray. I mean, can't complain with that. But another one that I would exemplify is Takita Kayoko, who I love Team B. I
Yeah.
have known more about her because of that, and I can confidently say that she was always fantastic on stage. I could not say in regards to her one bad thing about her in terms of the theater. I could say with some other people recently, Oya Shizuka. I gotta be totally honest. Just watch 10 performances of Oya and one of Takita, and you can tell who's really always 110, 20% into it. So this
Yeah.
was kind of unfortunate for me. She would be a choice for someone who's like a really strong theater pillar, like someone who was always there when she was. Can't say a single bad. Even if I disliked her, I don't. I don't really dislike anyone. I just prefer more than others. But with her, I could not say a single bad thing. Like, always great. Maybe along those vines too for me, Kubo Satone, another graduation. Like, she could have been like more of an ace, but maybe a minor ace, like a B-side ace with a lot of B-sides to her name.
Yeah.
That was also unfortunate, but that's the case. But also a Team B member, but Team B will be we'll get a new team when we get to it, which is something we can still talk about for the next topic briefly. There's not that much to say about that.
Yeah.
So those were ones that I wanted to quickly exemplify too. Is there anyone who has something to say about a graduation that's
Well, we're waiting.
can?
This was.
We're waiting for Amin's graduation to happen. That's soon, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
soon.
Renachi was today because
Yeah.
I mean this kind of ties in with the next topic that we had
Yeah.
planned. Renachi, Anin, and Miho had graduation stages set during the concert time,
Yeah.
but then it got cancelled.
Ooh.
Everything got
words
cancelled. Yeah.
Everything got cancelled. You get cancelled, and you get cancelled. So that's also unfortunate that it wasn't in that kind of fancy, let's say fancy, more elaborate presentation. But not that the theater is bad or anything. It's just unfortunate that they couldn't go out on that kind of note. Anin still has to. Wouldn't be a few days.
Yeah, in a
Very
couple of
quick,
days actually.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm wondering about Anin's graduation stage is, are there going to be Spanish subtitles or not?
You're gonna have a graduation speech in Spanish and then Japanese.
Wow.
I would be surprised if she would not do that. She definitely. I mean, maybe a Spanish song, maybe a song that was translated in Spanish. Who knows? I don't know.
She was in a TV show, right? When she
Yeah.
went to Mexico.
Telenovela.
They're probably gonna do. She's probably gonna do that main title opening song thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I don't remember
like
what's called.
Like la leyenda.
Yeah, something along those
Spanish
lines.
is hard. Spanish
Could
is hard.
be. That was a fun MV. Come to think of it, that was a fun MV. Very fun. Fun show. Cute girls in there too. Anan, of course, but there's some cute girls in there too. Can't help it. But yeah, she will be up soon. She will be up soon. Is a weird way to put it. And I look forward to graduation for her also in particular. But yeah, it's unfortunate, but she will be fantastic either way. She would also be a good example of A side, but like lower A, in the sense that not quite the star level of some other members, but still very strong, very known, fantastic member. You couldn't say a particular bad thing about in regards to herself. I'm thinking of the unfortunate incident that also happened. But that's sad. That's not delve into that. We've done that a long time. Someone else has to say anything about a particular graduation? No, okay, then we go quickly to that whole cancel thing. We kind of said it already. Spring concerts, which were a few concerts, I think a handful, as well as a old team concert for every of the 4 teams. For the old teams, I say teams a lot. Gonna say that more. And then there would be a new concert for the new teams that were announced during. What was it? The anniversary stage. Sorry.
Yeah.
And it got cancelled. Yay.
Virus. Ugh.
Of course. I mean, by this point, not surprised anymore. It's still unfortunate because it's concert. I mean, yes, come on. It had some fun ideas, old teams, new teams. Also have a general spring concert. Why not? They did that 2 years ago. I want to say they did that at one point too. Maybe not last year, but year before that. Maybe the year before that too, and I'm just misremembering the exact date. But it got cancelled, including the possible graduation stages for the concert for Miho, Renachi, and Anin. Sucks. Oh well, it happens, Anyone have a thought about this? Oh yeah, request hour. Why is nobody correcting me? Request hour. That was also I totally forgot. I'm just thinking about the concert portion. What also was cancelled was a request hour for songs, just for AKB. Was it B-side songs?
B-sides, yeah.
Yeah,
B-side
that's why
songs.
they uploaded all the music videos.
Yeah.
Yep,
It was
exactly.
according to the views.
So that got cancelled. I do hope that also makes a return, just because
Yeah,
fun. Why not? Come on,
Yeah.
focus.
Yeah,
Kind of with that
exactly.
show earlier.
yeah.
A bit more focus on the underrated B-sides that aren't as known. Most of them aren't, but there are still plenty ones that are to a certain extent. Some more than others, that's true. But that would have been very fun. But got cancelled. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Thoughts? Anyone?
No, I
I
was
want
so
it to happen.
yeah. I want it to happen because I had a feeling they
Yeah.
would announce the new song as well during.
Oh
this
yeah,
concert,
that would have
so-
We
been also a
would
good.
for sure do it.
But
We need
you know,
one.
But Mette, this means there is more time for you to code a bot to get views for Kpop on your Twitter.
But it isn't. It isn't even eligible for this.
God damn it.
Ah,
damn
It's
it,
not
no.
even
unfair.
eligible.
Unfair. Very unfair.
It is.
I think I mean it's like every other day or every day you see like a new member of AKB's sister all their groups, like somebody's got COVID. So it's
Oh yeah, also true.
I think it's really starting to run well, I mean here in Japan it's absolutely crazy numbers, but they are also, I think, doing what they can in their minds to try to curb the spread. But as the case is with the entire nation's response here in Japan, they don't know what they're doing. They have no idea, no real concept or understanding of how to curb it without properly taking all measures. This is, of course, and I mean, it is what it is, but I feel like it's them just trying to grab at whatever they can to keep their girls safe. But to be fair to them, a lot of their girls it's running through all of them. Like they're like everybody's getting it. So
Yeah.
it's just at this point they don't want to get into a situation where one of the girls gets it and then they get something really terrible as a result, and they're the unlucky one that gets long COVID or some nasty version of it. So
Oh, yeah.
I do understand.
Yeah.
They're just trying to do what they can, I guess.
Yeah.
It's
Agreed.
unfortunate.
I am just so thankful Sakurazaka has stayed so clear of that. I don't know how they did it. I have no
Magic.
idea. But they've been doing
Magic.
it. And I hope they continue doing it.
I am not saying Sakurazaka is doing this. I am not saying this at all.
Yeah,
but
no,
I will.
No, I know.
Hmm?
Yeah. No, you talk.
Sorry?
Sorry. You talk.
So what I was gonna say was that I feel like there's a lot of people here in Japan that don't report at all when they get it, or if people have
Yeah.
it. I don't know if that's necessarily true about the idol group systems, but I actually know personally like certain idols and idol managers and stuff that have definitely not reporting it, and they're definitely like hiding it because they don't want the negative exposure. They don't want things to get disrupted, and also some
Yeah.
of them they're like, well, you got it, but you're not showing any symptoms. You're good,
Yeah.
and they're just like. So there's definitely a lot of underreporting, especially in Japan. Numbers are just completely manipulated
I
here.
think that's everywhere, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
But oh well. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. There's, of course, it makes sense that they got cancelled. It's not like,
Yeah.
oh, why this? Doesn't make sense. Makes
Yeah.
sense. It's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
exactly.
Maybe a little bit stupid. I don't know.
With
But
this everything
we are.
being pushed back / cancelled, the AKB48 new single announcement also got pushed back / cancelled.
yeah,
And it says,
probability.
please just give us something. Give us something. You don't even have to tell us the Senbatsu. You don't have to just tell us, like, just, I don't know, give us a 5-second snippet of the song. Just tell, I don't know, give us something, please.
A
Please give
title,
us
A
something.
a date,
title, a date.
anything.
Yeah.
Would have been a great way to hype up the next one.
Yeah.
It's always a great time during a concert to do that.
Yeah.
Last day when there's the new teams. I mean, that would have been a great example to when to do it. Hopefully, we would get one. But at this point, still speculation.
Give us front line, but don't tell us who is center. I don't know, just something.
Oh yeah, did they not kind of do that with Rumor, where they showed just the boots? I feel they did that.
Yeah, they did hide who was the center for
Yeah,
a
they
little
did.
while.
Yeah, they announced the
Yeah.
Senbatsu, but no center announcement yet back then.
And they had also just the photo of the boots, and
Yeah.
people could point out, oh, who is that? Because based on lots of good details, so they could do that. I mean, still, nothing is confirmed. We don't know when. Could be tomorrow. Could be in 2 weeks, 1 month. Who knows? So, but
I
that
have a
would be
theory.
fun.
Yeah.
Let's share that theory.
I'm not 100% sure if Iwakakeru has happened yet, but if Iwakakeru happens, it's the stage play with lots of AKB members doing
Yeah,
an anime musical. If that's happening now, after this recording, sometimes after this, then you could announce not a full Senbatsu or anything, but like the last performance, like the encore of Iwakakeru, go out and say Senbatsu announcement, this date, when and where.
Could. That would be a good example. Yeah.
Please let the Senbatsu announcement be better than last time, because oh god.
Yeah, that was not
Last-
great.
Last
well.
time was like, when you're watching news, that at the bottom there will be, that
Yeah.
text.
Yeah.
It felt like that, only 10 times speed.
Yeah.
This
Who was
concludes
supposed to get
the
what?
end of this concludes the end of our program. We'll take care and hope to see you next time.
Yep. Yep.
Gonna-
That's exactly what it was too.
Yeah.
Just like, oh,
It's like it's blink.
Oh, what?
It's
What?
like Fight
Huh?
Club if you don't pay attention. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
wait, what was that? Was there something? I think it was, and then gone. That would be a great idea if they tend to live stream at least one performance or one moment of that moment, the entirety of the stage, but just one particular performance. Maybe if they do that, that would be the next best thing. But is there anything else they would do? No. So it is the next best option. But it's a good idea. Like if they want to do one, if they are working on it,
But
that would
can
be
we
it.
also talk about what that stage show whatever is about? Isn't it about like indoor rock climbing?
It's sports climbing. It's
Yeah.
a high school sports climbing team competition anime made into anime musical stage play thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean,
Oh.
as much as I like Majikura Gakuen, it is fun to have something else. Once in a while, it's like, okay, let's do this. It looks good. I'm gonna watch it because I do like those stage musicals just for the sake of it.
Plus,
Um,
pretty, colorful wigs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Looked so adorable.
that was
And
the
rock climbing
one.
on stage.
Why not?
Yeah.
Something else. Now you say that about the wigs, I need to double check on Mogi Shinobu. I was like, is that Mogi?
Yeah.
Was the only one that's like, I looked at it just a good glance and I saw everyone. I was like, wait, who's that? Oh, that's Mogi. Though she was a bit on the smaller side with her photo, that's true. But they all looked very colorful. It's like, okay, you know what? Let's do something fun. Like, again, I like Majimura Gaku and the shows and the stages, but I think they did like 3 revisions. So it's like, do something else. And it's the complete opposite. In terms of visual style, at least, where it's more gritty, it's Majimura, it's fighting. Now it's just very colorful anime musical. So why not? I'm up for it. Anyone else something to say about what we just kind of talked about for the last 10 minutes before we go to recommendation?
Not really.
Yeah.
Then we can go to recommendation. Let's go. I have the only thing that I would be able to recommend just before anyone else has it, because I have nothing else. Tomorrow, after this episode gets out, NMB will reveal their next single. There have been performances.
Yeah.
I know that DX shared that with us, but I kind of want to wait. I want to see the whole MV. I tend to do that. I want to keep it that way. I'm interested. I want to see it. I heard some positive things about it. I saw a quick glance of the costumes, and I think I'm gonna like it. The costumes, more so. So let's see. It's good. It's a good omen, I think, if something gets released that is pretty noteworthy to talk about on this show as a new MV. So it's good that we have it after our episode. I see it as a good omen. So I'm content with that. SK is also getting a new song
Yeah,
soon.
new song
but
on March
Yeah.
2nd, indeed, yeah. But no Senbatsu.
They've also-
Was there? I don't
both-
think was there Senbatsu? I don't think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the one. If it's SKE, then it's Hayashi Mirei Center.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and both
photo on the
come to
flower.
mind because they have been releasing teasers, so there's build up to it.
Yeah.
AKB, go do that too. So I would say NMB, looking forward to it. Maybe I will not like it, maybe I will, but hey, it's an MV of a main group, so why not? You know, A-side single. The X, something?
Just a solo project for Macharin, I would say.
Oh yeah, good one.
Her song is the ending for a drama she's in.
Good for her. Good. GG Matron. I
Very
clap
good
for
for her.
So I would recommend
me
checking
too.
that one out. I kind of name slipped right by me again, but I would say
that. Mellow, something,
Yeah, something
mellow.
mellow indeed. Yeah, but I don't
Mellow
know.
Love. I think Mellow Love. I want to go with Mellow Love.
Go with Mellow Love.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
It's not there. Something. Yeah, Mellow Love. That's
Yes.
I see it in the thing. Mellow Love. Check it out. It's on her own YouTube channel, by the way, not
Yeah.
for the people that remember. Macharin. Just type in Macharin and you'll find it.
Yep.
Maria, do you have any recommendations?
Yes, I do. First, I have to recommend Sakurazaka for their last two variety show episodes of Sokomakatara Sakurazaka. They've done Danso. And oh my god,
okay.
Oh, God.
Sakurazaka doing Danso is. They are god tier at that, I would say. They
Yep.
had a few, joke ones. My girl Kira is insane. I watched that together with Mette. Kira is actually insane.
I gotta see that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
but
Yeah.
they have a few members who are so incredibly handsome in Danso. We had a few love triangles formed to
Oh, nice.
Of course,
Nice, nice.
Here we
to be
go. Here we go.
expected.
Here we go. Yeah.
there were a few members who seemed to be cheating on other members.
It's a drama.
Oh my,
It's
it's a
a
drama.
big, it's
Okay.
a big deal. There's some members who all of the members are just whipped for. It's a whole thing. It's great. Go watch it.
Nice.
Yes.
Good, I
And
agree.
also, Cheyenne from Ice One. She debuted. So Smiley.
Ooh, smiley face, ducky.
Yeah. It's a really good song. Go check it out. It suits her to the T.
Yeah, yeah.
Always good. Mette.
If you haven't seen it already, look at First Rabbit. You know, it is
Yes,
out.
look at
Please
it.
Watch it.
Watch it.
And when the short film thing is out, I don't know when. Hopefully soon. Watch that.
Podcast.
And then
Podcast. Watch that too.
yeah,
I had that too. I want
Yeah.
to wait.
please watch 48th Hour with me and Maria, where we talk about BNK48, CJM48, and me trying to get Maria more and more into the Thai 48 group. I think it's working, but it's the
That
Thai
is the
48.
storyline for the podcast. It's a podcast with a storyline. Who knew?
Mm.
Well,
Wow.
yeah.
Very
By the
new.
end of it, if we're going into next year, my hope is to convince her to maybe even vote if there's a Sousenkyo.
Oh my.
Or a request hour. I will have a request hour over anything else. To be
That's
honest,
easy
I
to do
want
stuff, people.
BNK request hour.
That was the initial concept we came up with for the show. We aren't quite sticking with it, but elements of it stay, which is me being a filthy casual and Mette making me into a proper fan.
Wow.
Storyline. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
And the main thing is, please watch it, please like it, or click like, and subscribe, and keep supporting
And,
this podcast and BNK and CGM.
Ah,
Like
Thank
and
you.
subscribe to this one too.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Yep.
comment. And there is this bell button. I hear when you click on it, it gives you notifications or something.
Also a good
So,
thing.
Oh yeah, kind of.
Yep.
click on that.
We
too.
don't-
practical.
we
Yeah.
don't upload every day, so it won't fill in your subscription box.
Yeah.
You'll be aware. You never know. It's always good, especially if you're someone who has a lot of subscriptions, and then it will get drowned out. Always handy. Derek, do you have any
Oh,
recommendations?
my turn. Yeah, well, a couple. First, I do want to say to support our girls in their podcast. It's always cool when people are creative and do creative things and encourage discussion, um, discourage hot debates, discourage any sort of anything in this world. Is I'm all for it. And also too, it's just cool that they're doing it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
so
true.
weird.
Yeah.
It's just so weird to think this all came out of Robin's head.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
you know, and I love Robin to death, and I'm so grateful for what he's given us all. But now now it's extending even farther. So really love this, and I would say as a recommendation on top of that, if there's any fans out there that are gonna start something similar, please do. We'll support you. If you guys have your own conversations you want to do, maybe somebody wants to get all about Tiny Mark, I'll join. You can count me in. If you want to do something about SKE48 or another sister group podcast, I mean, we just because the members of these groups and the groups themselves are kind of being sidelined due to crappy world pandemic garbage and other stuff doesn't mean we have to be, and we can still keep it all alive. There's still so much good stuff. I mean, heck, if you just want to do a nostalgia podcast, that's always going to be fun. But I would say as a recommendation to do that. Second thing is, and we didn't really talk about this. I was kind of surprised, waiting for somebody to say it. But Happy Valentine's Day, guys!
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
I was
Kinda
waiting this
forgot.
whole podcast. I was like,
You
I-
know,
Totally forgot.
I totally
I'm-
forgot
I'm-
myself.
well,
So yeah.
I think we're all forever alone. We're just all so
Yeah,
lonely.
maybe that's why. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
no, I think we're all. I think- no, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But Happy Valentine's Day to all of our and lovely fans out there, as well as my members here. Happy Valentine's Day. For me, I was lucky. I had exactly one idol. My idol, Hannah. She come over to work with me on something, and she brought me a very surprise box of chocolates, and it was really delicious.
Aw.
And
Oh nice.
I was genuinely impressed because nobody else did it, but I was very happy. So I did at least got something. And speaking of Hana, that would be my final recommendation today. Actually, well, it's today in Japan. It's 3 a.m. right now, but 9 p.m. today, Hana-chan will be doing her second ever online Cheki session right here in my place. So tickets are still available. Me and Hana are really looking forward to speaking to everybody, and she can speak English, and she can read and understand English. She's not perfect or anything, but she can definitely carry a conversation. So you don't have to be, well, I mean, I'll be here if you want to ask her something and she doesn't know. I can just translate as best I can. But I would encourage you guys to go to idolunderworld.com and pick up your ticket. You can buy as many as you want. There's no limits. You can ask for any poses you want as long as you keep it polite. And she will be wearing her very first costume, not the one that I'm making for her with her. That's gonna debut later, but this is the one she had chosen when she decided to be a solo idol last year before she met me. But we thought it'd be cool just for fun to have her wear it. So she'll be wearing her original thoughts. I mean, the costume we have now is dance heavy because she's a dancer. She's the best dancer I've seen in the entire idol world ever. But I wanted her to get something more dance appropriate because she's gonna be busting her butt all over the stage. And the costume she's gonna wear today is, you'll see, it's not, I don't think it's really meant for dancing like that. So anyways, please pick up a checky. It's 9 p.m. today, Japan Day. It's February 16th. So yeah, it'd be great to see you guys there if you can. Those are my recommendations.
And I thank everyone for joining in, watching us, as well as my co-hosts. Hope you have a great day. Hope you had a great Valentine, if you remembered it, unlike me.
There we go.
And I will see you all for the next episode sometime soon. Bye, everyone. Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen.